Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Apopka High School welcomes you to Joe Sterling Gymnasium for game number 13 of the 10th annual Metro vs. Florida Challenge presented by St. Germain Chiropractic. It's the event where the Orlando Metro Conference puts its reputation on the line with the 20 public schools of Orange County against some of the best competition in the greater Central Florida area. Today for this game 13, we welcome in the orange jerseys, visitors on the scoreboard. From Bartow High School, they are the Yellow Jackets. And wearing the white jerseys, home on the scoreboard, representing the Orlando Metro Conference from Olympia High School, please welcome the Titans. Let's meet the teams. We'll begin with our guests from Bartow. And we'll start at point guard with 6'3" junior number 0, Walter Clayton. At shooting guard, 5'8" junior number 14, Tyrone Smith. At point guard, 6'1" junior number 20, Amarian Frazier. At forward, 6'3" senior number 21, Twin Marsh. And finally for the Yellow Jackets at power forward, 6'2" senior number 24, Joshua Simmons. The head coach of the Yellow Jackets in his 18th consecutive year at Bartow, Mr. Terrence McGriff. And now let's meet the Olympia High School Titans. We'll start with a 6'4" junior, number 3, Tyree Bryan. 6'4" sophomore, number 4, Claudner Pierre. 6' junior, number 5, Dennis Warner. 6'1" junior, number 12, Jackson Dillon. And finally for the Titans, 6'2" senior number 23, Julian Fletcher. The head coach of the Titans in his 3rd year at Olympia, Mr. Rob Gordon. The officials for today's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. For those of you here in the arena, if you have friends and family back in Bartow, back in Orlando, or anywhere in the world, and they would like to tune in and join us live, you can send them to our website, metrovsfl.com, for links to our live videos, as well as our live stats. You can also simply search for Metro vs. Florida Challenge on the YouTube app using your favorite computer, mobile device, or smart TV. Again, it's Metro vs. Florida Challenge on YouTube, and we welcome your friends and family who are not able to join us in person. On the side, Mark, it's on the side. Oh. And welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium, Mark Bartow, Media Director for the Metro vs. Florida Challenge, joined as always by Neil Fisher from the Apopka. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Barchi, Media Director for the Metro vs. Florida Challenge. Here once again alongside Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, and we are ready to take you through our 13th game here in the Metro vs. Florida Challenge.
That's right, Mark. We've seen some great basketball during the course of the day and a half. Right now, the Metro Conference is trailing 7-4, and we'll get into that a little bit later. As we start off today, though, Olympia is representing the Metro Conference. Bartow represents the Florida contingency.
Yeah, and we've actually had the Metro Conference really struggled. We've had a few photo finishes that just did not fall the Metro Conference's way. As we get a jumper attempt here by Brian, that's not going to fall. Rebound goes to the Yellow Jackets. 102-70, the Metro Conference had led coming into this event. Now they trail 8-4 since then, as the three does not fall for Clayton, and the rebound goes to the Titans. Only 2 out of the last 9 events has the Metro Conference not won.
Yeah, I forgot to add the last score. That was a great game, a phenomenal game. Unfortunately, West Orange fell by deuce.
Julian Fletcher puts the Titans on the board.
West Orange eventually fell by. Forward.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with you. Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief with me, Mark Archie, the media director. Apologies for the little breakup in the stream just then. We had the program fell on the computer's sleep button in just the right way to put the computer to sleep, and so we had to wake it back up. But we are back now, and you haven't missed much. It's a 5-3 ball game. That's Julian Fletcher.
Yeah, so as I started to say there, Mark, the Bartow Yellow Jackets representing the Florida contingency, 18-10 last season, 4-2 in their district. They were the champions of that district. Their head coach, Terrence McGriff, as you pointed out, the 18th season. And they are a team very much like what we just saw with Auburndale. They're also out of Polk County.
Dylan Marsh for 2.
But Bartow has expectations of a long and deep run into the FHSA postseason tournament each and every year. Winning the district is not enough for them. They expect to be contending for state championships. They've won a couple of them. Well, I don't know exactly how many, but I know they've won multiple. Of course, their face of their program, they have 4 players in the starting lineup who have received honors.
Fletcher for 3.
There you just saw one of them, Walter Clayton, Alex Vigo, Dathan Davis, and Joshua Simons. They also return 6 seniors.
Jackson Dillon gets a 3, the assist by Julian Fletcher.
So again, Mark, they have a style very much, not only is their history and tradition very much like Auburndale in the previous game, but they have a style very much the same, even though we had turnover here. They like to run and gun. They push the ball up the court. They take shots. They are willing to take their opportunity. The idea, of course, is the more attempts you take, the more likely you are to score. And they're very quick with their hands. They take a lot of angles. Now, one difference is they don't slash and dash as much as you saw with Auburndale. Of course, Dorian Allen was pretty much the main guy for Auburndale who was doing the hanging in the paint. They don't quite have athleticism to that extent, but as a collective, they certainly are very athletic. They can get into the paint, and they can get a lot of those twisting, turning, and spinning moves to create pressure on defense, to create offense, and get a lot of turnovers there, as you just saw. So they are now members of District 6A6. And looking over to Olympia, as you mentioned, Rob Gordon is the coach. This is his 3rd year, but he has coached at a number of schools. If you follow high school basketball, you know the name. He's a very animated coach, very entertaining, although I don't think that's his intention, but you certainly get your value watching him. But as far as the team, Olympia is now in 7A District 3. They were unable to make it out of the district semifinals. They had a very disappointing season last year. A number of players were injured. However, they returned 7 this year, and they're all juniors or seniors.
Jackson Dillon for 3.
And so far, we've seen Olympia, how much having those players who were injured last year back in the lineup has made a difference.
Fouls called against Titans number 4, Claude Pierre. That's his first, team's first. Checking into the game for the Jackets, number 20, Amarian Frazier.
And again, just to finish up about Olympia, Mark, they like to run and gun too. That's Gordon's style and his philosophy of how to attack an opponent.
Offensive charge is called against Tyree Bryan. His first, the team's second. That was taken by Alex Vigo.
So again, Mark, Don't be surprised if we see another game with a combined 120 points. One thing I like to point out too, and we pointed this out several times during the previous games, there was almost 130 points put up in the previous game. However, it was really a very hardcore defensive effort by both teams. Those 130 points put up is really an indicative of just how skilled both teams were offensively.
Hold is called against Claude Pierre's second, the team's third.
Both those teams had to fight for every one of those 130 points which were put up. Expect to see pretty much the same here in this game. So both these teams play man-to-man defense.
Traveling, Titans ball. And apologies again, someone has stepped on our cable for the camera. And so therefore, we're going to have to use the end line cameras until we get it back. Warner for three. We'll be right back. All right, we are back and have all of our equipment working again, we think.
Yay. So
Frazier misses the jumper, and we're going to get a putback made by number 22, Nathan Davis.
And also remember that actually all of these teams have not played more than 2 games at the most. That's 2 games for each team. So we're still seeing a lot of early season finding their footing type play too. So again, as promised, this has been an incredibly fast pace. And again, both teams going man-to-man. Other than about 8 minutes, we have seen no other defenses in this event. Have to admit, Mark, a bit of a surprise, a 19-7 lead by Olympia.
Julian Fletcher with a long 2-point jump shot. And again, that cord has come loose. We'll get that fixed. 3-point basket by Jackson Dillon.
And so far, here in the early going, Olympia certainly has taken the fight to Bartow. And again, as we come back here, a 24-7 lead by Olympia. Seeing a very fast pace here, as promised. Both teams like that have coaches who are known for approaching the how to attack with that style. Good pressure defense creates easy offense.
Krubalele gets the last word of the first quarter, and that makes it a 26-7 ball game. Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. The Jackets have the opening possession of the second quarter. And it's going to be number 0, Walter Clayton, strikes first for the second period.
So again, Mark, taking a quick look here at field goal percentage, actually the stats, a 26-9 lead, and that's set up by a 62% to 27 advantage in that field goal percentage by Olympia. They have come out blazing hot, not only obviously on the board as good a start as possible, but their shooting has been second to none. 10 of 16 for Olympia, only 3 of 11 for Bartow. So Olympia to start with has created and generated more shots, but they're also making more.
Fouls called against Titans number 10, Dylan Lightus. That's his first, team's fourth.
Only 2 turnovers, so that of course works hand in hand with the percentage. Bartow, on the other hand, has had 4, which is not a tremendous amount, but in comparison to the 2 that Olympia committed, you're looking at twice as many. Both teams have 7 rebounds, and neither team has shot a free throw.
Checking into the game for Bartow, number 22, Dyson Davis.
Who made that free throw? 33.
So again, both teams, quick pace, like to go up and down. That's their general philosophy of how to attack an opponent.
Traveling, Titans ball.
So 5th turnover of the game by Bartow.
Returning.
Stoppage on the court. Wipe up some sweat. And again, Olympia is shooting 62% from the field entering this quarter, 10 of 16. And the man who's really been at the forefront of that is Jackson Dillon, 12 points in that first quarter, 4 or 5 from the field, no free throws again.
Checking in for Olympia, Kevin Charles.
And Julian Fletcher has also added 9 points.
Foul called against number 20, Amarian Frazier, his second, the team's third. Checking into the game for him is number 12, Alex Vigo.
So again, this is the Metro versus Florida Challenge. We have 23 games in total over the course of Tuesday, today, and tomorrow.
Foul is called against number 3, Tyree Bryan. His second personal foul, the team's fifth at the line, shooting 2, Zaylin Gibbons. James in for Olympia.
So Gibbons now with 2 points.
Swishes both of them. Hold is called against Jackets number 12, Alex Vigo. His first, the team's fourth.
So the Florida versus Metro Challenge. Actually, Metro versus Florida Challenge. We have 2 teams here. Every game there's 1 team representing the Metro Conference and 1 team representing the Florida contingency.
Tyrone Smith steals 2 for the Jackets.
All the public high schools in Orange County are members of Metro Conference. Therefore, the teams that are not in the Metro Conference make up the Florida contingency. And we add up who gets the most victories at the end of the 3 days and 23 games.
James for 3, the pass from Dillon. Checking into the game for the Jackets, number 24, Joshua Simons.
Again, both teams man-to-man. Bartow going full court. Good job by Olympia. Hasn't really affected them yet.
James gets his own putback.
Some strong offensive rebounding there, maintaining his position to get that offensive rebound.
Zaylin Gibbons is fouled on the attempt at the other end. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Jackets. Titans foul is called against number 21, Kevin Charles. That's his first personal foul, and the team's 6th.
So Gibbons now up to 3 points. He has yet to attempt a field goal from the field.
30-second timeout is requested by Olympia. We'll be right back. All right, we're back to live action, and Olympia so far having their way with the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, extremely high field goal percentage of 62%.
Foul called against Titans, number 21, Kevins Charles on the hold. That's his second, the team's seventh. It'll put the Jackets into bonus. First substitution, Krubelele for Kevins Charles. And now at the line, shooting 1-1, Zaylen Gibbons.
So when you shoot 62% from the field, you're going to win a lot of games, Mark.
Putback is made by Joshua Simons. Well, Neil, if you can't have the free throw, that's the next best thing.
Yeah, and now that's 2 possessions in a row that Bartow's gotten that offensive rebound on a missed free throw. See if that is a trend or if that does turn into an impact on this game. Only the 4th turnover of the game for Olympia.
And Julian Fletcher is doubled over. He looks like he took a shot to the groin. Jalen Travick into the game for Olympia. Tyrone Smith for 3 on the pass from Zaylen Gibbons.
And that was set up by the breaking of that full court man-to-man defense.
Steal by Gibbons will give the Jackets an extra possession here, and so they're certainly not going quietly into the night. They've got it back to a 10-point game. Going to see if they can cut it inside that here. Offensive charge taken by Krubelele and charge to Joshua Simons. His second, the team's 5th. Checking into the game for the Jackets, number 21, Dwyan Marsh.
So again, very aggressive play on both sides. That's pretty much what this game promised. Teams like to get up and down the court here, a lot of pressure. And there you see it.
Jackets unable to cash in on the turnover.
And I'd say we've seen a lot of turnovers and defensive rebounds being turned into transition. But really, through until about 2 minutes ago, it had little effect. Now it does seem to be affecting both teams.
Alex Vigo gets the layup, and we'll pause for a Titan timeout. Full timeout requested by Olympia. We'll be back in a moment. welcome back to live action. Titans out to an early lead, but the Jackets are not going to take it lightly. Here we'll get a traveling Jackets ball. So again, clearly Bartow is not going to take this sitting down.
No, and
they go to the corner.
And again, that up-tempo pressure defense did not have much of an effect on Olympia early, but now over the last 2 to 3 minutes, certainly starting to take a toll on Olympia. Only 2 turnovers in the first quarter. Now Olympia has 6 here, and we still got 3:22 left before halftime.
Krulele gets under the basket for a layup.
Much needed basket there by Olympia. Reestablish that 10-point lead.
Second chance basket made by Amari and Frazier.
So again, seeing more shots from the inside being taken now by Bartow. Also, they're getting a lot of those from the offensive rebounds.
And we've got an official timeout here. We're going to check. I see there's some suspicion that there may be blood on a jersey. And they determine, I think it's just maybe it's a Powerade stain, I think. Titan basket by number 23, Julian Fletcher.
Fletcher with a very strong move there, went to the outside, came back in, but used the body as a shield and went over the shoulder. So, Mark, we've had a lot of action up and down the court here the last couple of minutes, but not many points.
Yeah, I'm going to get a cramp in my finger from tapping in all of these stats with the turnovers and putbacks.
So, again, we expected to see a lot of up and down. These two teams are very much like the last two we saw, and that idea of their general approach of how to attack an opponent.
Frazier to Vigo, 4-3.
See a lot of kickouts and screen and rolls set up in order to get those men to pop out.
Fletcher is fouled on the attempt to go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 32, Elijah Williams. That's his first personal foul. The team 6.
Oh, I thought you were calling.
Oh, yeah, who's the foul on?
Oh.
32. 32? 32.
I thought you were yelling at the players.
Yeah, I was trying to tell them coming out here, too. To the X. There's like 3 things happening at once.
Yeah. So 1 of 2 from the line. Strong rebounding there. Got up, right timing. Grabbed the ball right at its highest arc.
Offensive foul is called against number 22, Dyson Davis. It's his first. Team 7th. No bonus shots on offensive fouls, but it turns the ball over to the Titans.
Yeah, and Mark, there's only 53 seconds left, but nonetheless, we will be shooting fouls the rest of the way. Some good passing there by Olympia, taking advantage of the rotation.
Dennis Warner fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called on number 0, Walter Clayton.
So 53 seconds, as I mentioned, or 47, which is the current amount of time, or 1 second. It doesn't really matter. A free throw is a free throw. Stop the clock. Chance for the team to get some points. So Dennis Warner with 3 points. He's 1 of 2 from the field. And now 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Again, Jackson Dillon had 12 points at the end of the first quarter. He has not scored here in the second. And so now Bartow, a little bit more deliberate, and that was as clear a foul as there is. Knee came out on that play.
Block is called against number 5, Dennis Warner. His first, the team's 8th. That puts the Jackets into bonus. Walter Clayton will shoot 1 and 1. Valiant effort there by Warner, but it's not going to fall his way. Checking into the game for the Jackets, number 14, Tyrone Smith.
By the way, Clayton has 2 points. Easy play there for Bartow.
Greedy for 2.
Olympia fell asleep there on that rotation. Easy scoop and hoop for the Bartow. So Olympia now deliberate, going to take the last shot here. At 7-point lead, 15 seconds left. Certainly want to reestablish some momentum and some semblance of the game, what they do well here heading into the second half. Can't do it, bad decision.
Block is called against number 2, Edgerrin James. That's his first personal foul, the team's 9th.
So 2 turnovers in the first quarter by Olympia, 9 here in the second quarter. Give you an idea of what they're facing with that Bartow defense. Nonetheless, they have continued to shoot the ball well over 50%. That's kept the lead for them. Smith now with 8 points, 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And can Olympia get that last opportunity? No, they're not. Great defense by Bartow, closing off the ball carrier, now allowing him to get his hands up to shoot.
That takes us to the end of the second quarter. It's a 5-point ball game. Titans hanging on to a strong start, but the Jackets certainly not going quietly into the ninth. They will challenge them back to 5. 37-32 is your score at the end of the first half. The Titans have the opening possession of the third quarter. And welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Barchi, Media Director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief. We're ready to go with the second half of another good one. We've had a lot of those this weekend, and game number 13 is proving to be no exception.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Olympia, representing the Metro Conference, of course, got out to a big lead there. I believe it was 14 points at one point. Since then, Bartow has chipped away, and we go into the second half with a 5-point differential. So with that said here, we are waiting for the start. And a quick look here, Olympia, of course, got off to that big lead because of a 62% shooting. They've cooled off somewhat, still shooting 52% from the field, 14 of 27. Bartow was only 27 after the first quarter. They certainly gotten hot here, raising their percentage all the way up to 46. Rebounds are 15 apiece, and Bartow has a decided advantage at the line, making 7 of 10. Olympia only going 4 and sinking 2 of them.
Foul's called on number 24, Joshua Simons. That's his third personal foul. The team's first this half. Basket by Claude Pierre is good. He's at the line shooting for the three-point play, but first checking into the game for the Jackets, number 22, Nathan Davis.
So again, shades of the first quarter there, Mark. Olympia coming out and taking the fight to Bartow right on the first possession, not only getting the basket. Well, they had a chance for the three-point play. Again, leaving some points on the table, only 2 of 4. And then your other statistic, turnover, Bartow was a slight advantage of 11 to 9. So field goal percentage has certainly put Olympia in the lead. Bartow has rallied by turning rebounds and free throws in their favor. Not a particularly big advantage, but again, the cumulative effect of both being impactful.
And we're going to get a loose ball foul here. Hold is called against number 4, Claude Pierre, his third, the team's first this half.
So at halftime, we have a pair of Titans leading that team, Jackson Dillon and Julian Fletcher, both with 12 points.
Nice block and rebound by Tyree Bryan. And you can't get away with that. Traveling, Jackets ball.
Over on Bartow's side, only one player in double digits, that's Tyrone Smith. However, 10 players have gotten into the scoring column for the Yellow Jackets. A long rebound traced down there by Fletcher. And we come back the other way here. Good rotation on that ball. Even though Olympia's had a couple of junctures where they weren't able to get the basket, they were, though, still getting fairly good looks at the basket.
Foul called against number 21, Dwyan Marsh. That's his first personal foul. The team's second.
Again, both teams have gone man-to-man throughout the game. It's just a question of full extension or if they're going half court.
Who just scored that? 23.
Fletcher on the basket on the Titans' end.
So Bartow starting this half, at least for the first minute and a half, just like the first quarter, not getting those field goals to drop. 1 of 3 here so far.
Bartow foul called against number 14, Tyrone Smith. His first personal foul, the team's third. Checking into the game for Bartow, number 23, Zaylin Gibbons.
Chance for Olympia to re-extend that lead to over double digits. Some nice movement there, but even better patience. Waiting for a really good shot, not just a shot.
Nice touch there by Dylan to get the rebound after the block. Foul is called against number 3, Tyree Bryan, is third, the team's second. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to take all the pictures and video that you like tonight. We do ask, however, that you please disable any flashes or video lighting for the safety of our players and the courtesy of those around you. And a near miss there for Bartow. They'll go to the corner. Smith, jumper, no good. Rebound goes to Dylan, we'll go the other way.
So again, a lot of action, Mark. Not much scoring, though. Again, both teams have cooled off. Again, Olympia started hot 62. They were still shooting at a relatively good clip, ending the first half at 52. Bartow's been up and down now. And I can hear Coach Gordon, the Olympia coach, urging his players to run.
Tyrone Smith is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Jackets. Foul is called against Titans. Number 5, Dennis Warner, is second, the team's third.
So number 14, as you said, Mark, Tyrone Smith at the line. He's the leading scorer for Bartow with 10 points. Make that 11. 3 of 4 from the field. That's only his third attempt from the free throw line. Again, Smith is the only Yellow Jacket in double digits, but they do have a total of 10 players who have scored. And now Bartow goes back to the full court man-to-man. Again, Olympia growing cold. They have not really been cold. Like I mentioned, they did take a little bit of drop into percentage towards the end of the first half, but they were still shooting 52% overall. They've missed on 4 consecutive possessions now.
Tyvan Davis is fouled on the putback attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 5, Dennis Warner. That's his third, the team's fourth. That one thought about it for a while, but eventually did go in.
So Davis now with 3 points, 1 of 2 from the field, and now 2 of 2 from the free throw line. So again, some up and down the court, and now we saw some up and down from as far as a player jumping up and down.
Held ball, possession, Jackets.
So that defense forced indecision, and you get a turnover there. Opportunity for Bartow to cut the lead down to 3, and they're not going to be able to do it. Olympia comes back with an answer on some nasty defense of their own. Great hustle there. Trying to do the Michael Jordan-esque move there with that ball to the side. Fortunately did not have anything of an angle.
No basket. Traveling. Jackets fall. All right, a lot of personnel changes for Bartow now. We'll see if Olympia can keep up.
Yeah, Mark, and the intensity certainly has picked up about 3 notches as well. There's an example. Boy, hot potato underneath the basket.
Simmons with a lot of energy there to get his own rebound, but still can't manage to pull it down ultimately. Edgerrin James finds an opening in the paint for 2. Boy, Neil, we haven't seen that lane open up for a while.
Yeah, Bartow fell asleep there on that play. Did not rotate over, left that lane wide open, and now Olympia has a chance to reestablish a 10-point lead. Excuse me, 9 points, 9 points. Although if they do drop a tray, it would be 10 points. Again, Olympia 52% in that first half. They're certainly shooting nowhere near that here in the second.
Edgerrin James spins for 2 in the key.
Although that'll get the percentage up. Spin move there. And it brought the Olympia bench to its feet, and they're still on their feet. Oh, no call.
Putback is made by Elijah Williams.
So a lot of contact under the basket on that last possession, but no call. Certainly looked like there had to be a call on somebody with all that contact.
Layup by Jalen Gibbons.
And so an attempt to move with the ball without looking at where you're going to move.
Walter Clayton adds 2 more for the Jackets, and we'll pause for a timeout as we're now down to a 1-possession ball game, 45-42 Titan lead. $1:35 left in the third period, and we're going to pause for a Titan 30-second timeout. All right, welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. $1.50 left to go.
Again, atmosphere, environment, and the play has certainly picked up here, much more intense.
Foul is called against number 20, Krubalele. That's his first. Team's 5th.
So this has been a very fluidic game, Mark. We're seeing that fluidity increase as well. Much more
Joshua
quicker.
Simons to Walter Clayton for the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. The foul is called against Titans, number 23, Julian Fletcher. That's his first personal foul and the team's 6th. Clayton shooting one.
Clayton with 2 points. He is 1 of 4 from the field. Obviously just made his first. And what was a 14-point lead is no more, Mark.
Yeah, we got a new ball game. And boy, this is something we've said before. Walter Clayton is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against Titans number 23, Julian Fletcher, his second, the team's seventh. So an opportunity to take the lead here, Neil.
Yeah, I think you're seeing the intention of the style that Bartow plays is constant up-tempo. It's not so much a bruising, grinding feel, although there is some force to it. It's more of just a constant testing of if you can keep up with us constantly moving. And Olympia looks like they're wearing down under the heat of this somewhat unique style of defensive pressure applied here by Bartow.
Push is called against number 32, Elijah Williams, his second, team's fourth. Too much time on the inbound, Jackets ball.
So Olympia only turned the ball over twice in the first quarter. As an example of that pressure really wilting Olympia, they're around 20 in the 2 quarters since then.
Clayton is fouled behind the arc. He'll go to the line and shoot 3 for the Jackets. Foul called against Titans. Number 21, Kevin Charles on the push, his third, and the team's 8th.
And there's another effect of that style constantly being applied by Bartow, just making bad mistakes mentally. Not only was a foul committed, but it was committed behind the line, 3 free throws.
Checking into the game for Olympia, number 2, Edgerrin James.
And Olympia on a 9-0 run now, opportunity to make it 10-0. Excuse me, Bartow on a 10-0 run. 50 seconds left. Olympia desperately needs a basket here. As you like to say, Mark, stop some of the bleeding. But again, just to reestablish what they do well, we haven't seen it in about 2.5 minutes.
Lost the camera again.
Text me at the end of each quarter, let me know the score.
25 seconds. Bartow does not get the roll, but they do get the offensive rebound and a foul there.
Gibbons is fouled on the putback attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The Titan foul is called against number 21, Kevin Charles. That's his 4th personal foul, the team's 9th.
So not only is Bartow getting the better of Olympia here as far as field goal percentage, but they're also getting that better of them at the field goal percentage because they're taking more. It's a 15-10 advantage now. And again, Olympia only turned the ball over twice in the first quarter. They turned it over about 20 times in the 2 quarters since then. But still an opportunity to get into the next quarter, still within reach. 2 possessions, they can knock it down to 5 points here. And those were baskets Olympia were making in that first quarter.
Zach Gibbons. And that takes us to the end of the 3rd period. The Jackets ending on a hot streak. They now lead by 9, 54-45 is the score as they reverse their fortunes headed into the final 8 minutes of Game 13 here at the 10th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge. We'll be right back. The Jackets have the opening possession of the fourth period. Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher, ready to take you through the last 8 minutes of what has been a real reversal of fortunes. Fouls called against number 0, Walter Clayton. That's his second personal foul, the team's fifth.
And Mark, we talked about field goal percentage throughout this game, and that really was the key and why Olympia was able to come out and take a 14-point lead at one juncture. But I think the story of why Bartow has not only erased the lead, but gone in front by 9 points has been the free throws. 19 of 22 free throws for Bartow. They went to the line 12 times in that third quarter, converting 12 of them. So 12 for 12 from the free throw line. For the game, Olympia has only gone to the line 5 times. Olympia also is behind 17-10 in turnovers, in rebounds 31-25. And Olympia's field goal percentage has now dropped to 44%, 18 of 41. It's been steadily dropping since that first quarter.
Edgerrin James for 3.
And if there's ever a basket that Olympia needed, that was it.
Elijah Williams floats one in from the key for the Jackets. And we'll pause for a full timeout. Full timeout requested by Bartow. A strike, that will make it a 30-second timeout taken by the Yellow Jackets. That means we'll have all full timeouts for the rest of the way through here. Let's take a look at our scoring leaders as we head into the last quarter. For the Jackets, Tyrone Smith and Walter Clayton each have 12 points. On Olympia's side, Julian Fletcher has 14 points, 4 rebounds. Jackson Dillon with 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist.
The Metro's only won 2 games. Oh, 4 games. Oh, they've won 4. My bad. It's 8-4.
Yes.
3-3.
So again, Mark, Metro versus Florida Challenge. Olympia representing the Metro Conference. Bartow representing the Florida contingency.
And Olympia was really being dependent upon to carry the torch for the Metro, and here they do. Claude Pierre from Edgerrin James with the basket, a chance to make it a 3-point play. Foul is called against number 23, Zaylin Gibbons.
So the free throw will cut the lead to 5. Does not convert it, though.
Lane violation on the Jackets. Another shot coming to the Titans.
Huge mistake there by Bartow. Again, gives another opportunity to Olympia. And by the way, Mark, like you like to say, as Olympia still can't take advantage of that second opportunity, free throws will be shot the rest of the way.
Simons can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Put back won't go either. Elijah Williams is fouled on the putback attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 23, Julian Fletcher. His 3rd personal foul, the team's 10th, and Williams will shoot 2.
And as you just mentioned, Mark, that's the 10th foul on Olympia, which means Bartow will be shooting double bonus the rest of the way, 6.5 minutes.
Checking into the game for the Titans, number 12, Jackson Dillon.
Another 2 points increases the lead to 8. And Smith now has 12 points and 5 rebounds.
Push called against Jackets number 20. Amarian Frazier, that's his third. Team 7th, and it will put the Titans into bonus. Dennis Warner at the line, shooting 1-1.
So Warner with 4 points. Now up to 5. He's 1 of 3 from the field. Now 2 of 3 at the line.
Clayton back in for the Jackets.
Who can't get the second one, so both teams leaving points on the table over the last couple of minutes.
Walter Clayton adds 3 for Bartow.
Stop, pop, and drop mark there. An example of just how good this Bartow offense is. That was good defense, even better offense.
Dillon can't get the 3 to fall. The rebound will go to Frazier for the Jackets. Checking into the game for Olympia, number 23, Julian Fletcher.
So, of course, Fletcher is the leading scorer for Olympia with 14 points, has 3 rebounds.
Three won't fall for Williams, and we're going to get a tussle over the rebound. Held ball, possession Titans. Checking into the game for Bartow, number 21, Dwyan Marsh.
So Bartow's defense has certainly picked up the intensity here in the second half. And there you're seeing an example. I was somewhat surprised the 5-second wasn't called.
Timeout, Olympia, full timeout. And we'll take this opportunity to thank our partners who helped to make the Metro vs. Florida Challenge possible, including our friends at Elevate Orlando. Elevate is a civic nonprofit that helps students to grow in character and life skills. They partner with 14 Orange County public schools to achieve a 98% graduation rate, 96% post-secondary placement. Join the more than 1,500 students who have benefited from Elevate Orlando services, elevateorlando.com. We also want to thank Apopka Commissioner Kyle Becker for his ongoing support of Apopka High School and the Metro vs. Florida Challenge. And finally, we want to thank WBZW 1520, who is, of course, across the way covering the football game.
I need a 4.
That's 60. They're both 60.
You called it a 2 or 3. I had 60 to 51. Okay, 60, 51. 60? 60, 51. So we're good up top? 10 and 7. Okay, yep.
Julian Fletcher is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Push is called against Jackets number 23. Zaylen Gibbons, his second, the team's 8th.
So Fletcher, of course, the leading scorer for Olympia, now with 15 points.
Did you have Clayton's last?
6 of 10 from the field, and now 3 of 4 from the line for Fletcher. 8-point game. And even though Olympia gave up a lead, to their credit though, they have not allowed the lead to get more than about 10. They have managed to stay close enough to still be able to win. And again, that touch, the touch for the field goal percentage has certainly left Olympia here in the second half.
Offensive charge is called against number 23, Julian Fletcher. That's his 4th personal foul. No bonus shots for offensive fouls, but it turns the ball over to the Jackets.
So I think we had some embellishment there by Clayton. The way he went down there, he looked like a heavyweight boxer who just took a shot right to between the eyes. But nonetheless, that was the correct call there. Clayton had established his position a couple of seconds before the ball was turned and attempt to score. And Olympia remains in full court, man-to-man. Need to get a couple turnovers, at the very least a stop here.
Joshua Simons is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Jackets. Foul is called on number 12, Jackson Dillon. That's his 1st personal foul. And the team.
Also remember, Fletcher, who just got his 4th foul, is now on the bench, and he is the leading scorer for Olympia with 14 points along with 3 rebounds. Meanwhile,
we found one person in the scorebook who didn't already have a foul. That was Jackson Dillon, so he's got one now. Putback is made by Walter Clayton.
and that's part of why Bartow's offensive field goal percentage has steadily risen since that first quarter. Nothing spectacular, but they do have 15 offensive rebounds, which is still almost twice as many as Olympia. And there's yet another one, and but it's not going to be turned into points.
Offensive charge taken by Clonder Pierre, charged against Joshua Simons. That'll be his 4th personal foul. And the team's 9th. Again, no bonus shots for offensive fouls, but it turns them all over to the Titans. Double bonus the rest of the way for both teams.
Yeah, and this has been a real low-scoring game, a quarter, I mean, especially considering how many points were put up in the previous 3. Only 9 points combined, a 5-4 lead by Olympia.
Push is called against number 24. Joshua Simons, his 5th personal foul. He'll retire from the game with 2 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. So 22? 22, is that? Was it 22? 22, okay. Okay, so what we determined was it was actually 22, not 24, called on the foul.
Yes, and now Pierre has 3 points. He's 1 of 3 from the free throw line. 4 minutes left, 8-point lead now for Bartow. Bartow outscored Olympia by 22-8 count in that third quarter to not only take the lead, but to create a multiple possession lead.
Out of bounds, Titans ball.
So, Mark, I think we're entering crunch time here. Under 4 minutes. Olympia with an opportunity to further cut that lead down. Still can't get those field goals to fall. Those kind of field goals were falling in that first half of the second quarter.
Held ball, possession, Jackets.
Another opportunity goes by the wayside for Olympia to cut into that lead.
Walter Clayton on the layup.
Lead back up to 10. So again, we're still playing at a fairly fast pace in comparison to most teams. However, both teams have started to adopt a more deliberate flow when they get possession of the ball.
Foul called against number 14. Tyrone Smith, his second to the line shooting double bonus. Edgerrin James.
So James with 5 points, shooting only 2 of 8 from the field. These are his first 2 free throws. So once again, Olympia prevents the lead from growing over 10 points, but they can't get it any lower than 8.
Rebound goes to Pierre here.
Tough inside rebounding there. Both teams throwing the body in the way of each other. Bartow remaining in man-to-man. They've gone man-to-man the whole game.
Julian Fletcher picks up a jump shot for Olympia. And we'll pause here for a timeout. Olympia spends their final timeout. Full timeout called by the Titans.
Yeah, 3 and 1, coach.
So the lead is now down 2-6. The smallest amount it's been since early in the third quarter. And we got 2 minutes left. And now Bartow is going to a very deliberate place here, as well as just their attack.
Yeah, the clock is their friend at this point. Walter Clayton will go to the line and shoot double bonus after being fouled by Dennis Warner. That'll be his fourth personal foul on the block. So Olympia now has 2 players in the game with 4 fouls. Jackson Dillon in for Olympia.
So Clayton is actually now the leading scorer for Bartow. For a long time it was Tyrone Smith. He has 18 points, 7 rebounds, 6 of 13 from the field, 7 of 10 from the line. And this offensive rebound was huge. That's the kind of rebound that feels like a knife in the back.
Walter Clayton floats one in for 2. He's got 21 tonight.
So Clayton does it all. He amends for his missed free throw. Got a minute and a half left here.
Tyree Bryan with a soft touch from the baseline. 2 for the Titans.
And now if you're Olympia, you absolutely have to come up with a stop there. And you might even want to think about fouling Bartow, considering how much time they're going to run off the clock.
Titans foul called against number 2, Edgerrin James.
So again, both free throws good and a 9-point lead as we go under a minute. The free throws have been the difference here. Bartow's gone to the line 20 times here in the second half and missed only 2 of them. And I think that's going to be the final nail in the proverbial coffin.
Yeah, now we'll start a fouling strategy. Hold is called against Jackson Dillon. That's his second personal foul. Walter Clayton will go to the line to shoot 2.
So again, Bartow 18 of 20 here in the second half. Make that 19 of 21. Obviously they scored 19 points, but to get to the line 22 times and a half, that's a huge, huge advantage. And so Clayton now with 23 points.
And Walter Clayton with 23.7 rebounds. He's your MVP tonight. Julian Fletcher down the key for 2.
Coach Gordon not yet ready to throw in the towel.
And the Titans will take their final timeout. Full timeout called by Olympia. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are waiting for game number 14, rest assured, it's coming up next. We have not forgotten about you at all. Game 14 is coming up. It's between the Dr. Phillips Panthers and the Oviedo Lions. That is scheduled to start, about 35 seconds ago, so we didn't quite make that target. But we'll do an abridged 10-minute warm-up, and then we'll get right on top of that. Dr. Phillips against Oviedo, game 14, and our penultimate game of day 2 here at the 10th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge coming up next.
So the obvious strategy here, really the only thing you can do is you gotta follow Bartow as soon as the inbound pass is made. And there is that foul.
Foul's called against number 3, Tyree Bryan. That's his 4th. At the line, shooting double bonus once again, Walter Clayton.
So this will be the 23rd and 24th free throw attempt in the second half for Bartow. They've only missed 2 of those free throws. And both are good, so 22 of 24 at the line in the second half now. Gotta move the ball up quickly. Can't be stopping like that, man. You gotta get that ball. You gotta get some shots off here. And that will do it, whatever little opportunity remains. So Olympia comes from behind. Bartow comes from behind. Olympia cools off after shooting 62% from the field. They wind up under 40. Bartow goes 22 of 24 in the second half and comes from behind to win.
That takes us to the end of the ball game. 73-62 is the final score here in game number 13 of the Metro versus Florida Challenge, and Bartow furthers the Florida team's cause. They'll now fall to 4-9 on the event so far, and we're going to need the Metro teams to catch up tomorrow. But a great game here. Bartow comes from behind for the 73-62 victory. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out tonight to support your Jackets and your Titan athletes, especially thanks to those of you who traveled a long way to get here on the holiday weekend, and also thanks to those of you who joined us on our webcast on YouTube Live at the Metro vs. Florida Challenge channel. For those of you who would like to continue to join us for the next game between Dr. Phillips and Oviedo, you will need to remember that we have each of the games on its own separate live stream. So we will join you on the Game 14 live stream in about 10 minutes.